Welcome back, boys and girls. Hope you're excited for today. We kind of left off on a pretty big cliffhanger yesterday. So we're gonna see what happens post prank on Joel Weber from Bear and Aaron today. Um, Sorry I forgot to post the song packet on time yesterday, but it's posted now, so you should be able to get that done by Friday. Um, yeah, I really don't have too much today. We have our Zoom meeting at 11:30, and I look forward to seeing you there. Make sure you're getting all that done. Oh, iReady. I'm going to mention this in the Zoom meeting on your iReady lessons. You need to make sure you're doing close reading lessons, not just vocab lessons. Okay, you can do vocab lessons once a week, but you need to be doing the close reading lessons the other 4 days. Okay. I want you guys to be able to push yourselves a little bit over break. We don't want to just take it easy or not over break, over online classes. We don't want to take it easy and just coast through those lessons. The close reading lessons are a lot more closely related to our curriculum than the vocab lessons are. So it'll help us a lot. It'll benefit you guys a lot in the long run, and that's the point. Okay? All right. Jumping into restart. What just happened yesterday was Aaron and Bear came in with the prank. Chase was caught with like the extinguisher cord in his hand, and they all got taken to the office, and that's where we're at now. Okay, we're from chapter 21, Chase Ambrosy's perspective. It should be familiar to me, sitting on the chairs outside Dr. Fitzwallace's office with Aaron and Bear, waiting for the axe to fall. Aaron assures me that our butt prints are permanently etched into the seats. I don't remember any of that, but it's accepted fact that the three of us have spent a lot of time here. Aaron settles himself comfortably and grins at me. There's no place like home. I'm not in the mood to grin back. Are you both crazy? What was that all supposed to be about? Bear rolls his eyes. Oh, boo-hoo, the poor geek squad. I'm furious. Forget them. What about me? You just got me into a ton of trouble. What about yourselves? You're both going to get kicked off the football team for this. And for what? So you could spray a fire extinguisher foam on a bunch of band instruments? Bear keeps smiling. At least we weren't the ones who conked Joe Weber. That was an accident. You think Fitzwallace is going to believe that? Bear retorts. Who's going to back you up? Your video dweebs? Kind of doubt you're the favorite person right now. I'm so upset I can barely come up with the right words. You did this on purpose to frame me. We're supposed to be friends, and you were so dead set on wrecking my life that you didn't even care if it went down the drain with me. Aaron's calm. No one's going down the drain. Are you delusional or just stupid? With our reputation, they're going to throw the kitchen sink at us. Community service is something we can only dream about now. We're going to get expelled. And we better pray Fitzwallace isn't on the phone with the cops right now. Relax, says Aaron in an undertone. First off, we are friends, and we're not going to let anything bad happen to you. Just stick with us, agree with everything I say, and we've got this. You are delusional, I hiss. How could there be any way to explain that train wreck in the music room? When the door to the inner office opens, the knob makes us slap like a gunshot. Then Dr. Fitzwallace is upon us. His rage all the more terrible because it's ice cold. Honestly, I can't say I blame him. I'm not thrilled about being in trouble, but if any situation ever justified a principal losing it on 3 students, it's this one. He ushers us inside and seats himself while we stand in the front of the desk. Well, it's the 3 of you again. I was hoping. He looks at me, shaky hands, and shakes his head sadly. All right, let's hear it. Knowing full well it's not going to get me anywhere, I'm about to protest my innocence when Aaron speaks up. I know it looks bad, but we didn't do anything wrong. Bear and I were walking past the band room and saw smoke coming out from the door, so we grabbed the fire extinguishers and ran inside spraying. They were shooting some kind of video, and they had a million lights plugged in or something. Something must have just shorted out and caused the fire. Chase heard the yelling and came in to help us, but the video kids attacked us because their project was getting ruined, and somehow Joe Weber hit his head on one of the extinguishers. Principal frowns. That's not how the students on the scene describe it. Bear shakes his head understandingly. Don't be too hard on them, Dr. Fitzwallace. They're probably just scared of getting in trouble for starting the fire. The frown deepens. None of my teachers smelled smoke. Aaron sighs with relief. Good, we got it in time then. Dr. Fitzwallace shifts his gaze from the 2 of them to me. And that's what happened? This is it. Time for me to shoot down Aaron's ridiculous lie and speak up for my own innocence. Sure, Dr. Fitzwallace will never believe I was framed, but at least I have the satisfaction of throwing those 2 guys under the bus, even if I have to go down with them. Well, the principal prompts. To my astonishment, the anger is completely gone from his expression. He's waiting for my answer, and I think how he's hoping to hear. He's rooting for me to go along with Aaron and Bear. Why would a principal want to let three delinquents like us off the hook after such a huge incident? I take an educated guess. It's probably a major hassle to come down on the students the way he have to throw the book at Aaron and Bear and me. 3 sets of unhappy parents, triple the paperwork, school board meetings, maybe court cases, everything in triplicate. And my eyes find the photographs on the wall. The 2 state championship pictures, my dad and me losing. And my dad and me losing Aaron and Bear would be a blow to the Hurricanes, and it would definitely shut down any possibility of me coming back. So I mumble, yeah. Excuse me? It should be an easy thing to say, but each word sits on my tongue like the poison. Yeah, what Aaron and Bear said is the way it was. Fitzwallace looks almost relieved, and I know I've picked the right answer. Aaron and Bear are both smiling, although they're working hard to keep in celebration inside. They've gotten away with it, and so have I. We're not totally off the hook. We get a bit of a lecture on how we should have called for help or pulled the fire alarm before taking matters into our own hands. He tells us we need to be less impulsive and not so rough with our fellow students. Also, we're not allowed to leave on our own. He calls our parents and they have to pick us up. As we stand in the foyer, waiting for our rides, Aaron and Bear are raving about our amazing escape. Seriously, man, Bear tells Aaron, I've been seen tap dancing before, but that was filth, like art. Aaron nods. I was afraid Chase was going to mess it up at the end, but our boy came through. Didn't I tell you he'd have our back? I don't say anything, but inside I'm thinking it's true. I covered for them. I saw a way to save my own butt, and I took it. And in the process, I wrapped myself in their phony and got drawn back into the old life. So, this is what it was like. Make trouble, lie, repeat. Luckily, these guys are so busy congratulating themselves that they don't even notice I'm not adding much to the conversation. Bear gets picked up first, then Aaron. I'm just reflecting that my mom's not going to be thrilled about having to leave work early to come get me when the Ambrosi electric truck rattles along the drive. Not Mom. Dad. He's beaming at me like I'm here to present him with a big check from the state lottery. I climb into the passenger seat. What? He reaches over playfully and punches my shoulder. Fitzwallace told me everything, and I read between the lines. Way to go, champ. It wasn't great, Dad. He laughs. You think that's the first time I've ever gotten a call about you and Aaron and Bear? It's never great, but you got away with it. That's pretty great. I almost say nothing. Not really. But that wouldn't be true. I could easily be buried under the mudslide of pain right now, and I'm not. I can't regret that. What I regret is the way I got so free and clear. Sorry, guys. When I arrive at the school the next morning, Miss DeLeo is waiting for me at my locker. You found out what happened, I conclude. I'll apologize to Brendan, Joel, and Kimmy when I see them at video club. She shakes her head sadly. I'm sorry, Chase. You're not part of the club anymore. Maybe I'm stupid, but that really catches me by surprise. Nobody told you I didn't do anything wrong? Suddenly, there's a bowling ball in my throat, and I can't seem to clear it away. I spoke to the Webbers on the phone last night. She tells me Joel's okay, but the family's pretty rattled considering that the injury came from you. What about Brendan, I press? He knows I'm innocent. I had a talk with him, too. He's not so sure your role, but the word innocent never came up. She shoots me a penetrating gaze, and it doesn't help that you backed up the story of your 2 friends about the electrical fire. My heart sinks. She's right about that. I signed on to the lie to save my own skin, but I never thought about how that would look to the video club kids. They know there was no fire. They've all been waiting for the old me to show up, and I delivered. So they kicked me out, I say? She shakes her head. That decision was mine. I'm really sorry, Chase. You were doing so well. Warrior is the best middle school project I've ever seen. I think of Shoshana. I can only imagine how mad she must be. Don't worry, Miss DeLeo. I say, surprised at how hard it is to keep my voice steady. I'll stay away. It bugs me. But what really bugs me is how much it bugs me. What do I care that a bunch of video dweebs don't want me in their club? I bring myself up short. Video dweebs. That's what Aaron and Bear call them. And as upset as I am, I'm not going to stoop low enough to use their words. I blame myself for the mess I'm in, but mostly I blame those 2. Speaking of Aaron and Bear, they're acting like everything is beyond awesome between us. Funny. I found a way to give them a pass for a lot of rotten stuff, including maybe even stealing a war hero's medal. But what I can't forgive them for turns out to be something I did all by myself. I protected them because it was the way to protect myself. The cost turned out to be one video club, plus the way I feel every time Aaron and Bear refers to me as our boy. I start taking weird detours through the halls just to avoid running into them. My one consolation in this short day for me, Dad's picking me up at 11 to take me to my appointment with Dr. Nguyen, the sports medicine specialist. At least that spares me lunch at the football table. I won't be eating with the video crowd anytime soon. Is it possible to lose your appetite for an entire school year? I spot Brendan a couple of times, but when he sees me, he quickly turns away. I catch a glimpse of Shoshana scorching me with the look that would melt titanium. I don't think Joel's even at school. Dr. Nguyen re-enters the exam room and beams at me. Well, young man, I've got good news and better news. The good news is you exhibit no lingering concussion symptoms, and you're fit as a fiddle in every way. The better news is I'm signing the medical form authorizing you to return to the football team with no restrictions. Congratulations. Gee, what a surprise. Dad searched and searched and found a doctor who would clear a dead man to go out there and get tackled. And only 60 miles away. As we drove home in the Sting, Dad rails against brain-dead Cooperman, who kept me off the gridiron for no real reason. Dr. Cooperman has a diploma from Harvard Medical School in his office, I tell him. I didn't see a diploma on Dr. Nguyen's wall. Dad snorts into the wheel. Just because he isn't one of those Ivy League snobs doesn't mean he isn't as legit as they come. This is great news, champ. You're back on the team. His brow darkens, and maybe those stumble bums will start winning again once you're out there. In 3 weeks, I remind him. School rules. 1 week of non-contact practice, then 2 weeks in full pads before I can play in a real game. Just in time for a late season playoff run, Dad chortles. I'm not that happy about my triumphant return to football, and it's only because Dr. Nguyen, who could have signed a paper certifying I was pregnant with triplets if my father had paid him enough. It's not the medical part that bothers me. I know I'm fine. Dr. Cooperman pretty much said it so himself. I'm even interested in the game and excited to see if I can be as good as everybody says I used to be. The part I don't like is that the football me is the old me, and I don't want to be that guy anymore. Look how fast my pre-amnesia instincts kicked in the minute Aaron and Bear jammed me up yesterday. But really, what choice do I have except the Hurricanes? I'm kicked out of the video club, and I lost every one of the friends I made there. Things are finally turning around for you, champ, my father goes on. But maybe not the way I want them to, I complain. Why? Because a bunch of sissies are ticked off at you? He doesn't understand why the video club thing hurts so much. I'm not sure I understand it myself. It isn't just the kids. Mr. Leo was the one who kicked me out. Teachers, Dad snorts. They have to slap you on the wrist to make it look like they're in charge. You'll notice you're not banned from the football team, and neither are your buddies Aaron and Bear. When I played, I had the whole faculty wrapped around my finger. Sure, they threw me attention every now and then to make it look good, but after the state championship, I called the shots in the school. For the first time, I say it out loud. Aaron and Bear might not be my buddies anymore. Oh, come on, champ, don't be that way, he beams at me. First, that mess with the Weber kid, then the accident. It feels like it took forever to get the old Chase back. Don't tell your mother, but I'm proud of the way you handled Joel. You made your statement. That's for sure. I don't bother to point out that I wasn't making a statement with Joel. It looks more like my buddies Aaron and Bear were making a statement with me, and all it took was sick imagination and a lot of fire extinguisher foam. By the time we get back to Hiwassee, it's 2:30. No sense bothering to go to school. Dad drops me off at home, making me promise to report to football practice with my newly signed medical form promptly at 4. And I will, not because I want to, but because I'm too depressed to resist. Unhappiness sucks all the energy out of a guy. Upstairs in my room, I gaze out the window at the shingles of the sloping roof. For a weird instant, I actually remember sitting out there when I wanted to be alone with my thoughts. Or maybe it's not a memory at all, but something I'm imagining because I've been told so many times what I used to do. On an impulse, I raise the window and swing a leg over the sash. Carefully, really carefully, I crawl out there. I'm expecting to be terrified after what happened. Actually, though, I'm pretty comfortable on the gentle sloping shingles. It even feels familiar. It's not a flashback exactly, still, has to come from my lost past. I definitely haven't been here lately. I swore to my mom that I'd never go out on the roof again. But she's at work now, and never is a long time. To my amazement, my body arranges itself into the position I'm told I used to prefer. Butt planted, knees bent, feet flat on the shingles. It's a different kind of memory, muscle memory. Amnesia can't touch that. I understand why I like it up here. It's peaceful and private. The town is all around, but I'm above it, so nothing can reach me. I see the school and the football field I'll be on in a couple of hours. Not far away, toward downtown, is the Portland Street residence where Mr. Solway lives, and there's the park where we filmed Leaf Man. Just the thought of it brings the bowling ball back to my throat. That's the last time I'm ever going to work on one of Brendan's crazy videos. Dad says the old Chase is back. I wanted that once, but right now, the new Chase is the life I'd rather have, and I've lost that too. Chapter 22, Shoshana. I must be the stupidest person in the history of the world. I get straight A's in school, but obviously that doesn't mean anything. All it proves is I know how to study for geography tests. As a judge of character, I'm an F-. I let that jerk, that alpha rat, dupe me into believing he was different, that he was a nice guy. Well, a leopard never changes his spots, and that goes double for a scheming lowlife like Chase Ambrosi. Falling off a roof, having amnesia, big deal. It doesn't mean you're not a rotten person today just because you can't remember being one yesterday. I can't even face my brother, and it not just because his eyes look like it sustained a direct hit from a cannonball. It's all my fault. I'm the one who told my parents that the coast was clear and that it was safe for Joel to come home. And I ended up bringing him back into the life of a fire that almost broke his spirit last year. I could kick myself, except for the fact that my toes are pointing in the wrong direction. I can't get anything right. It isn't just that Chase has gone back to his bullying ways. It's that first he convinced everybody he was a new person. And we went for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Not just me, but the video club, the teachers, Dr. Fitzwallace, the whole school. That must have been his plan all along, to lull us into a false sense of security before pouncing one more time. What a plan it was, to ruin Brendan's video, wreck the music room, attack Joel, and blame the whole thing on an imaginary fire. Chase was behind it from the very beginning. From a strategy standpoint, you almost have to admire it. It succeeded with flying colors, and Joel has the colors to prove it. Black and blue, mostly. I wish I could take my video project and flush it down the toilet. I'd rather lose all that time and throw away the best work I've ever done than have anything linking my name to Chase Ambrosi. Compared to what's happened to my brother, the National Video Journalism Contest is about as meaningful as counting snowflakes in a blizzard. That's another reason to hate myself, that I could let my ambition to win a lousy contest make me so blind. I never should have allowed myself to be pushed into partnering up with Chase, no matter what Brendan and Mr. Leo said. I don't care that the project is on a really great and interesting guy. I wouldn't make any difference if we got an interview with all the signers of the Declaration of Independence, brought back to life and reformed into a boy band. It just isn't worth it. For the smartest kid in the school, Brendan's even dumber than I am. He's got it in his thick head that there's a chance Chase might be innocent. I don't know, Shoshana, he insists. Bear busted up the chute. Chase could have been trying to stop them. Oh, sure, I return, and he just happened to show up exactly at the right moment. He didn't show up, he argues. I sent Kimberly to get him. Joel said you didn't send her for Chase. They did. There was a lot going on, he admits. It's hard to remember. I think they sent her first, and then I did. Why couldn't you go yourself? Because I was stuck in the tuba, he replies. And if it's the most natural thing in the world. Happens to everyone, right? Listen, I tell him, my poor brother has a Technicolor face, courtesy of the guy you say might be innocent. That could have been an accident, a tug-of-war with a fire extinguisher. Maybe Chase was trying to protect Joel. I roll my eyes. Let him protect somebody else. When it came time to lie his way out of the blame, he was right there with Aaron and Bear. That's all the proof I need. I know what it looks like, he agrees reluctantly, but doesn't Chase deserve the benefit of the doubt? Listen, I challenge. If what you say is true, then Aaron and Bear set him up and nearly got him kicked out of school. And where is he this very minute? At football practice, with the same Aaron and Bear who should be his worst enemies. What does that tell you? Well, it's not like he can come to video club anymore. And in the cafeteria, I persist. Who does he eat lunch with? The football team. We won't let him at our table. We're protecting Joel. That's the real meaning of protection, not cold cocking someone with a fire extinguisher. I'm so mad at that jerk, and you should be too. He's like a cobra. He lured us in until we trusted him. Then he struck, and now he's slithering back to his old life as if nothing ever happened. Joel may be the one who's bleeding, but the attack was on all of us. And he agrees. Brendan knows I'm right. However much he wants to convince himself that Chase is innocent, the whole club knows that we're better off without a guy like that. So how come his name keeps popping up again and again and again at our meetings? That camera work looks a little shaky. You've got to keep it smooth like Chase. Yeah, that's a cool shot. It was Chase's idea to film it in worm's eye view. The kid's a mumbler, but you can hear the audio clearly because Chase lay on the floor and held the microphone just out of frame. Can we please stop talking about Chase Ambrosi? I explode. He's not a god. He's just a person, and a lousy person at that. He belongs on the football team with the other muscleheads. Actually, he belongs chained to a slab of concrete at the bottom of the Marianas Trench. But I'll take the football team if it gets him away from us. Joel has been silent through all this. Now he speaks up. Am I the only one who's noticed that video club has gotten kind of lousy? What are you saying, I demand? He shrugs. We all watched Warrior. It's fantastic. Nobody's doing that kind of work anymore. I'm furious. You think that's because we don't have him? My brother looks at me with his one good eye. Just because I hate Chase Ambrosi doesn't mean I fall to pieces every time someone mentions his name. Go ahead. Talk about him. I can handle it. This isn't last year. No matter what, I'm not going to get chased out of the town again. We slap him on the back and pound his shoulder. A few of us even cheer. It almost reminds me of the football team, although I'd never admit it to Mr. Leo. I'd never admit it. Mr. Leo gives him a big hug. Maybe I can stop beating myself up for getting Mom and Dad to bring home from Melton. The very worst happened, and he's okay. I look at my little brother, 14 minutes younger than me. He's grown up. Chapter 23, Chase Ambrosi. At football practice, when everyone else is laboring under a ton of equipment and you're breezing through the drills in shorts and a t-shirt, you're not the most popular guy on the field. All around me, the gridiron resounds with crunching tackles, oofs, and grunts of pain, but I'm immune to that. No contact for the first week of my comeback. Middle school rules. My teammates managed to see it, that I suffered just the same. Around the Gatorade bucket, no drink in my hand, makes it as far as my mouth. It's pretty clear that the others have determined that I'm not going to get so much as a sip as long as my special treatment holds up. Every time I've got a full cup, someone manages to jostle my elbow until the contents spill down my leg and into my cleats. It's been going on for 3 days now. I'm borderline dehydrated, and when I walk with my wet pants creating squishy noises. Hey, Pink, Coach Davenport yells, referring to the fruit punch color of my lower body. Get out there and catch some passes. I have no memory of what practice is supposed to be like, but I don't complain about the treatment and focus on doing my job. I guess playing football is like riding a bicycle. You never really forget how. I run hard, and after a couple of days, the cuts and jukes come back to me. More muscle memory. I make a few good grabs, and I can feel the guy's attitude thawing a little. Nice catch, Captain, Landon tells me with a slap on my shoulder pad. Landon tells me with a slap where my shoulder pad would be if I was wearing one. I guess I'm still the captain. I didn't forfeit that by having amnesia. Yeah, good to have you back, adds Joey in a tone that could almost be interpreted as friendly. Try to turn this development to my advantage. Can I have a drink now? He laughs. Bathroom's in the field house, newbie. I hadn't thought of that. Pretty soon I'm in there, bent over the sink, guzzling water from the tap. It's better than drinking out of the toilet, which is probably what Joey had in mind. It takes a while, but Landon finally explains that this is standard procedure for anyone who's on non-contact. As soon as I'm getting tackled, like everyone else, my Gatorade privileges will be restored. Football. Here's a surprise. I like it. That means everything didn't change when I fell on my head. It proves you can be an athlete and a video club kid at the same time. Not in my case, obviously. Video club invited me to get lost, but it's possible to be both. I have no idea why more people don't do it. Maybe it's because the jocks will never find find out if they enjoy doing something artsy because they'll never try it. And the arts kids feel the same way about sports. In spite of everything that's happened, I'm getting the hang of most of the Hurricanes. They're a rowdy crew, and sometimes the physical nature of the game spill into the way they treat other kids, which is definitely not right. But they're giving me a chance, which is more than I can say for Video Club these days. I'm starting to see how I could have been friends with the players, with two exceptions. Aaron and Bear finally have what they wanted. My name is Mud with my new friends, and I'm back on the team. But if they expect us to be the Three Musketeers again, they can forget it. They couldn't stand to see me making a life for myself that didn't include them, so they wrecked it for me. And in the process, they managed to re-target poor Joel, who hasn't even been home for 2 weeks yet. And that's not including the way they treat the residents of Portland Street. But the last straw was when they cornered me, so I had no choice but to lie to Dr. Fitzwallace to protect the three of us. Aaron's always lecturing me about friendship. He doesn't know the meaning of the word. I don't talk to them. I don't stretch next to them. In the locker room, I sit so far from them that I'm practically out in the hall. We were on the practice field for the same drill. They get no chatter from me, not even an eye contact. The other Hurricanes have started to notice, but they think it's funny. Aaron and Bear don't. And how much do I care about hurting their delicate feelings? Well, you could fit that inside the nucleus of a carbon atom on Friday. On Friday, Coach Davenport runs us through a quick workout. The Hurricanes have a night game tomorrow, and he wants everyone to be fresh and sharp. Since I won't be playing, he keeps me out on the field while the others clatter into the locker room. 10 laps, Pink, he calls. No dog in it. The others are laughing at me and calling out mock encouragement. They're revenge for my week of no pads. To show off, I kick into high gear, sprint down the sideline. One thing that's come out of the first week of practice, I've gotten really fast. None of my teammates are very impressed because apparently I was always this fast, but it's news to me. And these days, I need something to feel good about myself. When the tackle comes, it's a complete shock. 1 second I'm running free, and the next, the big body hits me just below the knees, knocking my legs out from under me and sending me hurtling forward. I must somersault because I see a quick panorama of the sky and grass. The earth comes up to clobber me. I think I eat a bit of it. Gasping, I roll over. A helmeted figure is blocking out the sun. Number 57, Bear. Aaron stands beside him, applauding. How's that for non-contact, Bear spits? I don't answer. I can't. The wind is totally knocked out of me. I just lie there, wheezing. Oops, he goes on, fake apologetic. I think that might have been contact. It's confusing with you lately, Ambrosi. You're a friend. You're an enemy. You're a teammate. You're a video dork. You've got amnesia. He grabs me by the fabric of my t-shirt and hauls me to my feet. Or maybe you remember more than you let on. I've got no pads on, I choke, finding breath at last. You want to kill me? It could happen, you know. And you'd get more than community service for that. We had to get your attention, man, Aaron informs me solemnly. You've barely said a word to us all week. Don't worry, we won't harm a hair on your little head, Bear adds. Not until we get square. Get square? I don't know if I've ever been so mad. Aren't we square yet? All my friends hate my guts because they think I set up what happened in the band room. Aaron grins. Wasn't too hard to convince them either. I guess we're not the only ones who figured out the new Chase is a phony. What are you talking about, I sputter. You never had any amnesia, Bear accuses harshly. You faked the whole thing. Are you crazy, I demand. What's so fantastic about forgetting your whole life that anybody would fake it? I didn't even know my own mother. Well, for one thing, Bear returns readily. You can act like you have no clue what you owe us. I owe you nothing, I seethe. The fact that I used to be friends with you guys makes me sick. If you think you can push me around the way you do everyone else, think again. There's still enough of the old Chase left to take you on. You're lucky I don't go straight to the cops and rat you out for swiping Mr. Solway's medal. They stare at me in surprise. I can feel the advantage shifting to me, so I don't let up. Yeah, geniuses, I figured that out by watching you prowling the halls of Portland Street, taking advantage of the people you're supposed to be helping. Give me credit for having the brains to see who's sleazy enough to steal from a war hero who's too frail to look after his own stuff. Bear is still staring, but slow understanding is dawning on Aaron. You really do have amnesia, he tells me. Yeah? So? So you don't remember. We didn't jack the metal. You did. Rage floods through me, and I rear back my fist to swing at him. Before I can act, though, the memory flashes in my brain. The triangular case on the dresser, flipped open to reveal the gleaming 5-point Medal of Honor at the end of it is a blue star-spangled ribbon. A hand reaches down for it. My hand. I'm totally appalled, yet it makes perfect sense. Aaron and Bear are the worst people I know, but they weren't always a twosome. They had a ringleader, Chase Ambrosi, and in those days, if they were low, he was lower. Even before the memory returned, I should have known I did it. Bear's words break into my horrified thoughts. That's right, Boy Scout. This one's on you. You didn't even wait till the old Dumbledore was out of the room. As soon as his back was turned, you snatched it and tossed the case in the closet. It's worth big money, and you owe us our share. 3-way split. That was our deal, Aaron confirms. If we were sent to the Graybeard Motel, at least we're going to get something out of it. I don't have it. Bear's brow darkens. Don't lie, man. I saw you jam it in your pocket and walk out of the building. No, I all but whisper. I mean, I might have it, but I don't know what I did with it. And if I do find it, it's going to be going back to Mr. Solway. Maybe I used to be a crook, but I'm not one anymore. Aaron steps forward. Fine. You're better than us now. You're a saint. But when you took that medal, that was the old you and the old rules, so it belongs to all three of us. You can't do anything without our okay, and we don't give it. He looks totally serious, like a lawyer reading a contract. You make a move without us, you'll regret it, Bear adds threateningly. I regret I ever met you guys, I shout, hoarse with emotion. I wheel away from them and flee home, not even stopping in the locker room to shower and change. I have to put as much distance between myself and those two as possible. As I run, hot tears of shame are streaming down my face. Since my accident, I've heard a lot about the person I used to be. Never did I imagine this. I sprint harder, accelerating onto the sidewalk, outpacing even the most intense drills from practice. It's no problem escaping Aaron and Bear, but I'll never be able to get away from myself. That's where we're going to end for today, y'all. Make sure you answer the questions, input-output definitions, and 3 or 4 questions on the second page. Okay? Have a good day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.